Gina with Balanced Body Solutions here, and I wanted to talk with you guys today about plantar fasciitis, which is a really common problem seen in just your everyday person to elite athletes. It can be caused by a variety of things. Most people tend to look at just the foot structure and assume it's a foot. Sometimes it can be. So we'll kind of start out by talking about the foot and what could be going on there. One is just simply if you're extremely flat-footed and you have a tendency to stand with your feet really rolled in. Sometimes your knees can roll in, hips are going to be turned in. Actually can start to cause some back problems there too. Not a good scenario. So if you are that type of person, we definitely do need to strengthen the feet. So one way to do that is simply calf raises, but instead of toes facing forward, you want to turn the toes facing inwards. So you can do calf raises this way. Now, ideally, you want to work into doing them single leg or even with like a barbell or dumbbells to add some weight to it. But that's a real good place to start with the foot function. The other thing would be wearing minimalist shoes. Unless you have a really messed up foot or a medical reason to not wear shoes with very little support, I'm a huge advocate of minimal support because I think it's no different than putting a brace around your ankle or a brace around your back and wearing it all day long. You're not going to get any stronger doing that at all. So I really prefer people to wear very minimal support. That way when they're walking and the foot actually can function. You know, there's been a lot of studies talking about wearing less and that being really beneficial to the foot structure. Even working on something called when you place the foot here, how the foot needs to stiffen, those muscles need to kind of stiffen to hold that structure and not allowing everything to roll in. So if you aren't challenging those things in everyday life and you're wearing a really rigid structured shoe, there's just no way you're going to get any stronger. It's just that simple. So the more you can go barefoot or as close to barefoot is great for building that foot structure. But here's the area where we don't tend to think about issues, and that is with the hip. So sometimes, again, we think it's the foot, but sometimes it's the hip structure we need to work at, allowing the body to roll in, especially with runners. I'll see this where the whole hip will rotate in and they don't even know that it's happening. So they're running, especially if they're really long distance runners. Had a gentleman fairly recently that came in, was like an ultimate runner, just ran like a ridiculous amount of miles. And he had tried stretches, he had tried that foot brace, and nothing was permanent, which is what I tend to see. Like it helps for a while and then things get worse again. So I saw him and I did some stretches with him and it was just, hey, there you go. It fixed it. It was just that simple. So his hip was the issue that he had not even addressed. So I want to show you a few things that you guys can do in regards to hip stretching and strengthening. I want to combine both for you guys just to make it easier. So you're going to put the rope around your foot and then you're going to wrap it around just to give you a little more leverage to pull. So when you're doing this, sitting on the edge of bed or couch or table if you need to be elevated, I want you to actively move here. So I'm really just holding the rope, but there's slacking and I'm not doing anything until I get to the top and I'm forcing it as far as I can get it to go. Then I'm going to use that strap. So you can see, for me, I have almost full active range of motion. If I was here actively and then all of a sudden I could pull way further with the rope, that would indicate that I really do have a lot of weakness there. I have range of motion available that I can't get on my own. So you're going to want to do about a 2-second hold at the end here, and then maybe 10 or so repetitions. This is not something you're going to overdo very easily. You might feel a bit of a burn. I do on this because we do tend to have weakness in our hips. So I am working right now going into internal rotation, which some people might think is counterproductive, but I do think working internal and external rotation together are crucial for stability. So we're going to wrap it around the other way. This is the one to be more often seen with being the issue for plantar fasciitis, as far as we need this stronger to help the knees to not roll in, to be able to pull everything out of it. Same thing here, bringing the foot up as much as I can on my own, and then using the strap to help a little bit. So I'm a little bit weaker here, not by a whole lot though. And then usually within a few repetitions, I pretty well have full active active range of motion here. So again with this, about a 2-second hold at the top, and then around 10, maybe 20 repetitions on each side. Definitely keep it equal right to left, even if you have issues on one side, not the other. We don't want imbalances, especially when it comes to hip rotators, because it's going to affect your pelvis, therefore affecting your spine. If you don't get both sides, you may get yourself out of whack and cause all kinds of problems. So make sure you're addressing both sides. I hope that helps.